ground can absorb more of the water. And the good news is the rest of the day into tonight through tomorrow does look dry. Showers, certainly a few showers, possibly a rumble of thunder possible through some of Texas, but a lot of the activity will be farther north with tomorrow's severe weather risk. That focus, again, San Antonio, Houston, and all the cleanup there. 88 degrees, obviously a lot of humidity, so it's not necessarily going to feel the most comfortable, but this is Texas this time of year, so we're really starting to ramp those numbers up pretty quickly. Head to Oklahoma City, close to 90 degrees. Same thing for Dallas. Again, factor in some of that humidity. It always feels worse. And if you don't have the humidity or in some of those dry spots, you're pushing some of the triple digits here. Laredo, 104 for that forecasted high. Could come into record territory at least, and that's true across some parts of southern Texas, including the Brownsville area, where we're in the mid-90s, and record territory is just a few degrees away in the upper 90s. So we do have a lot of heat out there still building through Texas, but by Wednesday, more showers and thunderstorms start to make a difference here as the cold front, yes, I said cold front, slides east. So you'll note behind it we're dry, but we're not quite as intense with the heat. Places like Lubbock, close to where we should be this time of year, in the mid-80s. El Paso, close to 90 degrees there, so that's not too bad. Little Rock, back to the mid-80s. Some showers, thunderstorms possible there. Houston, still close to 90 degrees. It's going to be steamy as we await the chance to cool down. Here's what happens as we get into Wednesday morning. There's a lot more moisture pooling into this storm pattern, and it does mean more showers, more thunderstorms start to fire up, and that's why we look at some wetter weather as we head into Wednesday afternoon and Wednesday evening. Houston, Texas, the upcoming, we've got a severe weather threat across the plains and into the central U.S. And if you'll recall, we've had a very active April into May across some of these regions, and we're firing things up again this week. Low pressure system still on the move off to the northeast. It's going to be pushing its way towards Canada. What makes things a little bit different about this one compared to what we were dealing with the past couple of weeks is, well, some of this energy is still coming in out of the southwest. It's going to get wrapped up and it's forced around an area of high pressure off towards the east. So it's going to get shunned up into Canada. And that's why we get our severe weather threat much farther north than last week. Last week, you'll recall, it was between the interstates of I-10 and I-20. Now we're between Interstate 80 and Interstate 90 in the northern plains and the upper Midwest. In fact, Wisconsin, Minnesota, in that risk for a high risk of severe weather, as is much of Iowa, portions of Illinois, and northern Missouri. What can we expect as we go through time? Well, some of our greatest threats, where we have the most reports, will be wind and hail in that high-risk zone. Des Moines, you're in that high-risk zone. Hail will be focusing in on that threat, but also keep in mind there's some potential for tornadoes. That's going to occur really through the mid-afternoon hours, 2, 3 to 4 o'clock, and keep moving its way on east. So that's one of our factors here as we watch these storms push their way farther and farther to the east. Thunderstorm threat Wednesday gets stretched across the nation, anywhere from the New York-Canadian border off to the south towards the Texas-Mexican border. Another wave of energy there does create some wet weather, and that's going to be one of our threats. So again, watching those thunderstorms fire up across Iowa as we head through Tuesday afternoon into Tuesday evening. They keep moving east into Lake Michigan, and could be stormy start to Wednesday for many.